grew up together, and I had this thought, like, I imagine that when you have over 100,000 followers, you're in the top 20th percentile most recognizable people in the United States. You know what I mean?
You'd be surprised. That's not a lot at all. If you look at how many people have 1 million followers who are just like, who's that? You know, like, it's so oversaturated, and like, I think that's probably one of the biggest problems with digital media is like, back in the day, like, to become like a celebrity, you had to put in a lot of work where nobody knew where you were. You know what I mean? It was just like, imagine what the Beatles had to do. They had to like find a studio, pay for it, cut the ribbons to get, you know what I mean? Get a record label, put it on radio. But now it's like you pass all that with your phone. You can just do something and put it online. So the biggest problem is that there are actual celebrities like Chris Brown and stuff who are like, have a solid fan base who will pay X amount of money for them. But then it's like, you have this super quick way of getting popular, which is social media, and getting a follower is not like getting a fan, you know what I mean? And people get these like quick fixes, and then they get popular and then start thinking they're a celebrity, but it's like, it's not. Like, there's a study just came out, like the average social media influencer that has 1 million followers makes less than $12,000 a month based on their following alone. Less than $12,000 a year. Sorry, that was about to say.
I was like, damn, I'm down with that.
12 grand a year based off of their following alone.
That's like McDonald's money right there, man.
I think that's less than that.
It's for sure less. But then on the flip side, you got very, very unknown people making $80K a month just from their YouTube. So it's like, it's really just based off of...
What are the numbers of what does YouTube pay out per view?
I don't know. It's not a lot.
Is it even a cent?
Per view?
Yeah, is it way less than a cent?
I'm not sure. It fluctuates because
Let's Google it, yeah.
there's like a lot of YouTubers that were hit hard by YouTube changing their payout method, and then like I guess like a lot of them got paid a lot less. But you know, I still hear things to this day that's just like, damn, like you're not, people that aren't even popping like that are getting like a lot of money. So it's really just about being smart with your following, you know. Like a lot of people get a quick video, and then they're just like, they just get a lot of people going like, oh, who's this guy? Follow. And then they just think like, okay, I'm this guy, I can do this, and this. And people get embarrassed out here. Like we threw a couple of signings for people that was just like, it's just like, you know what I mean? And they were popping, but it's like, it's different.
Nobody really cared.
You can't let yourself get a big head on social media, because it's like, they're just people who like press the button to be like, maybe every now and then I'll see what they're doing. It's not like people think like, I got an army, I got 500,000 like crazy people ready to drop $60. It's like,
well, you know, like for you personally, because this is one thing that I've always noticed and respected about you, is your humility amidst your success. You know, like nobody could ever say they saw Patrick being like, oh, I'm Patrick Cloud now. You know what I'm saying? Never. It's never like that. What helps you maintain a level-headed perspective?
Logic. No, really, like people will ignore logic to make themselves seem like the shit for whatever reason. Could be a bunch of reasons, but I think that like, because everything I said just right now is like super true. Mm-hmm. Like, I just know that in certain demos I may be popular, but that's it, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm still working on like a lot of things. Like people will literally get 800K and then on Instagram or Twitter and be like, I'm a household name. It's like, no, hell no. So I think it's really just like really analyzing the situation. And also like, I didn't come into it as talent. A lot of people come into things as talent. So they make videos by themselves, that blows up, and then all these companies are inviting them in and being like, right this way, blah, 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 here's this. So I see how they get big-headed, but I started kind of just like base level, like getting Russell vegan drinks, you know what I mean? Framing his posters, like doing PA work, working the equipment room. Like I was sort of like that, looking at talent, and then it became producing and directing, looking at talent, which you still have to use logic to break down this situation, because it's like you get in situations where it's like, I'm really good friends with this person, but he's not funny enough to be in this scenario, you know? So you kind of have to like, being a director, you just have to do what's best for everything regardless of all that other stuff, and talent doesn't really do that. Like for instance, like if you're directing a scene, 9 times out of 10 talent will only be thinking about themselves in that scene and how their performance is, and then they'll just try to shine and outperform everything. Whereas like a good actor or a good talent or whatever this scene is would be like, how do I fit in this scenario? You know, maybe that's just as small as reacting or like not saying anything. Maybe that's what's best for the scene, as opposed to like what's best for me as talent. I want to take over the scene, when that's just not how it is. So I think that mind state kind of keeps like that, because you're not really thinking like a